Hey everyone, what's going on? So in this video, I'm just going to be doing a loose Surt guild boss guide. This is patch 1.3. This is the second week of the guild bosses for 1.3. We're a few days out from Phoebe. But yeah, so let's take a look at our turn order here. I have Rin 1, Yuki 2, Wonder 3, and Yusuke 4. Ideally, I think I'd probably want Wonder 2 and Yuki 3, but I actually just leveled some of Yuki's cards, and I speed rolled 2 or 3 of them, so yeah, not great, but I don't have the mats to try and level up other cards at the moment, so this is kind of what we're going to run with. But if your Wonders 2 and your Yuki's 3, that's perfectly fine, probably preferable. For us, though, the most important thing is just that our Fox is going last, that way we can kind of buff him up before he takes action at the end of the turn. And as for Wonder, we have the all-in dagger here, obviously the defense dagger just helps Fox out. And then Personas, we have Mithras, Succubus, and Komokuten. For Mithras, you're going to want to have Rakukaja on him. Succubus should just be standard, you just need Rebellion. And then Komokuten, I have Rakunda and Rebellion on him, but Revolution is what we're going to be using in this fight, so you should be fine with just the standard Revolution. And then as for card sets, I'm just going to put them up on the screen here and then read them out to you. Nothing crazy though, nothing super out of the ordinary here. Rin is running Departure and Prosperity, Yuki Trust and Prosperity, Fox Meditation and Opulence, and then Puppet is running Faith and Peace. And then before we hop into the battle here, I just want to kind of go over some, pre-game notes, pre-fight notes. If your Fox is A1, there is kind of a different strat here that you probably want to go for. I believe it was Merciless actually did a run with an A0 Fox where he's kind of leaning into that same strategy. Ideally, with the A1, because every second Kenai, Fox is getting 2 stacks of Imagination. If you plan it out well, you'll be able to use 2, and Imagination is the AoE follow-up that Fox does. You'd be able to use 2 of those AoE follow-ups in the weakened phase, which is what Merciless was able to do with the A0 somehow. I tried to look into how to do that, but it required a lot of re-speed tuning my team to have Fox go earlier, and it just would have been costly material-wise for me. So I decided to go with kind of this second tier, but he had scored 23 million, which is the highest I'd seen anywhere. So props to him on that one. But yeah, outside of that, my Rin is A1. I'm sure you've heard this a million times now, but if your Rin is A0, then whatever I do in the battle, just do reversed. If I use skill 3, you'll be using skill 1. If I use skill 1, you'll be using skill 3. And then lastly, before we hop into the fight, I just want to briefly go over kind of what our win condition is here. And obviously I don't mean just winning the fight. I mean our win condition in this fight is just to score as many points as possible. And I think it's useful to kind of talk over, what's our goal going into this fight? What are we trying to achieve? If you want just kind of what's the best in slot team, best in slot skills, best in rotation skills, to use, earphone, like I mentioned before, Merciless, these people are way better at putting that stuff together than me. But I think it's fun, more useful maybe for people who aren't as familiar with these gacha systems and they're not running damage calculations and stuff, but they still want to try and get better at the game and put out bigger scores or whatnot, or understand the game better as a whole. And so yeah, I think trying to think about these fights in what do I need to do to have success, and for us kind of our win condition here is basically going to be making sure that we start the weekend phase having Fox's highlight, or at least within 1 turn. 1 turn is the max we can wait to use Fox's highlight, and also be able to use Rin's highlight in that final turn, or use both highlights in the weakened state of the boss. So that's kind of what we're aiming for. So you don't want to end the first phase too quickly, which can happen, and hopefully do as much damage as this team can put out. So let's hop into the fight and go from there. Alright, so here we go. Let's start with Rin goes first. We're going to use skill 3 on Surt. Again, if you're A0, skill 1 there. Then Yuki, Sacral Glow on Fox. Wonder will go Rakukaja on Fox. And then Fox will use Kenai. Okay, now Puppet is up, so we're going to go ahead and use Puppet's skill 1 here. We're going to select Fox. I don't think it matters, but it is good practice to just kind of select the main target you want, even though not every skill is going to have a main target effect that's AoE, but like I said, good practice. Underworld Fairy, going to go ahead and use this on Surt. Alright, so highlights are up now. Just to play it safe, what I started doing was I just pop Yuki's highlight on Surt. It doesn't really do a ton, but it's kind of better than just letting the highlight sit and rot until, Fox uses it in the weakens phase. So then we're going to go ahead and use Absolute Judgment on Surt. Absolute Judgment is a really good ability. Yuki's really fun. I wish she kind of had more uses than just kind of like Fox's assistant, but alright, now we're going to want to switch to Succubus, and we're going to use Rebellion on Fox. And then Fox is going to go ahead and use Bone Chilling Cold. Yeah, and see, this is where the RNG can come in. If Fox had followed up a few more times on these Baphomets, or the Bone Chilling Cold had hit more stacks on one of them, like proc the weaken phase early, it's not great, and would pretty much ruin this run, and I'd have to re-record this. So luckily we're not there, and Rin is going to use skill 3 there. And now Puppet is up again. I'm going to go ahead and use Puppet's skill 2 on Fox. Just get as many of these seashell stacks on Fox as possible. They give, extra defense percentage. And then Yuki's going to go ahead and use Sacral Glow again. And we are going to switch to Komokuten, and we're going to use Revolution on Fox. Okay, and now we are going to use Kenai with Fox. Highlights are ready, so we're kind of ready to go in the weaken phase here, which Fox should send us to shortly. Sweet. Alright, so now what we're going to want to do is, you have one turn to play with here. So we're going to go ahead and use Underworld Fairy on Surt. And right now is the last turn that you can use Fox's highlight and still have Rins available for Fox's final action. If you feel uncomfortable and you are scared of messing up the math in your head or whatever, feel free to use Fox's highlight before Rin's action on this turn. That's kind of what I had done before, but I'm pretty positive it's going to work, so go ahead and pop this. Then Yuki's going to go ahead and use Absolute Judgment on Surt. Wonder is going to switch back to Mithras, and he's going to use Rakukaja on Fox. And then Fox is going to go ahead and use Bone Chilling Cold. And because we, use Fox's highlight, he's going to follow up on everything, which is kind of, I think, what they want you to be doing here, considering they summon all these jack-o'-lanterns that, attack for low damage, just basically to proc Fox's ability on every turn. So, alright, now, final turn, Rin, we're going to have Soup, so we're going to use Lion Dance here on Surt. And we have Puppet available, don't forget about Puppet. We'll use her skill 3, I think Yusuke is max seashell stacks anyway, but Yuki, Sacred Ball on Fox. Wonder you can either use Maraku Kaja or you can switch to Succubus for Rebellion. Just the way that like crit rate and crit damage are calculated in these modes, I think crit rate and or crit damage are always just like more consistent bets, so gonna do that. And then this is, you have to make sure you use Rin's highlight here before Fox uses Kenai. And the beauty of Rin, Red Spider Lily, damage taken up, Waters of Oblivion, Underworld Fairy. She is just a Rin is a powerhouse support unit. And we're going to finish it off here with Kenai on Fox, and then you pretty much watch and hope for big numbers. Okay, not terrible. I don't remember what I got on my best score. I don't know if this is going to be it, but it's going to be close. 410. Yeah, we did it. Okay, nice. So 17,406. That's not crazy. Like I said, I saw Merciless get 23 or 24, which was crazy. This is probably top 2%, I would think. Top 3, top 2%. Which I think for, yeah, top 2%. So hopefully you got something useful out of this. You learned something. Maybe you found a skill that you weren't using that you might find useful in your rotation. And yeah, best of luck, and see you later.